So here I am at the Northern Shooting Show, which was at Yorkshire this year. And I think it's their 3rd year going. It's normally a bit of a trek for me, if I'm honest, but I made it up. And I was glad I did. It's got two or three main big halls, which, as you can see, you know, there's a lot of shotguns and a lot of the sort of other sort of bits and bobs that you would expect to see somewhere maybe like the British Shooting Show. But this place has got a little bit of a ace up its sleeve, really, because there's a lot of outdoor areas, which I must admit I didn't get a chance to see enough of. In fact, it was a very frantic day for me. You can imagine with like a 3-hour drive there and a 3-hour drive back. I got there, I met Paul, who runs the show. We had a very long chat. He likes to chat. He's as bad as me, to be honest. And after that, I had to go and give this talk. And once I'd given this talk, we just went back to the hospitality, and then I went home. I didn't see enough, as much as I'd have liked, put it that way. But as you can see, you know, I noticed a lot of straight pull rifles this year. A lot of straight pull rifles that are actually a bit more affordable as well. You know, I mean, won't say anything else. But as I was saying, there's a lot of straight pull rifles, and rather than all this sort of Southern Gun Company or Lantac stuff, which is obviously from a lot of people prohibitively expensive, a lot of these rifles are really just standard semi-autos where they've just taken the gas system out, basically, which makes it a lot more attainable for your average person. And they're still very useful. I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of night vision being married to these types of rifles, which is very useful for when you're lamping, especially if you're lamping foxes at longer ranges. All of that real estate on the Picatinny rails and things really does lend itself well to that. So yeah, it's becoming increasingly popular. In fact, if you look here, this is the Thomas Jacks stand, and they sponsored the talk that I gave, and Tom, you know, you all know Tom, he actually now works for them, strangely enough, although I did tell them that really they should have got a beautiful blonde lady in a catsuit like one of their competitors did. Tom thought about maybe getting one for next year, but I'm not sure if it'd suit him really, to be honest. But there we are. But you can see him there gassing away to a customer. Strangely enough, he can't actually sell to the public. So it's a bit of a funny one, really, because you get people coming up to him saying, oh, I want to buy this. And he's like, well, you better find someone to sell it to you then. So there we are. Lots of knives on sale. And I suppose these guys are cashing in, really, because with the imminent ban on online knife sales, in the future, this may be, for the majority of people, where they're likely to pick something up. But, as it always is the case, be very careful buying knives, because although they might look very nice, a lot of them are very cheap and nasty, especially if they are suspiciously cheap. Like, there you go, that swirly thing, the Cyclone, £100 trade show price, and you're like, well, obviously it's pointless, but even if it isn't, if it's 100 quid and it's as elaborate as that, it's going to be rubbish. So, yeah, bear that in mind and do your research. Again, lots of air guns. This would be the Wyrock stand. There's a new model there, I've noticed, actually, the black one, the second one down. They seem to have replaced a lot of parts with plastic, which supposedly works just as well, but I don't think I'm a fan, really. Here you can see the outdoor element. Now, of course, this will grow every year. It's not as big at the moment outside as it would be at one of the big game fairs like the CLA or whatever. But the point is, it has both. It has the big commercial sort of Merry Hill shopping experience with all the usual suspects that you would expect to see, as I said, at somewhere like the British Shooting Show, which everybody loves. But then you've got lots of outdoor activities. There's food and country stuff, basically. So if you go to somewhere like the CLA, you'll have that, but then you haven't got all the commercial stuff, which is indoors. So it's an interesting combination, and it'll be interesting to see what they're like next year. From what I can gather, they've got bigger and bigger every year. So, you know, it's exciting stuff, really, and they're really nice people as well. And you can see here the safes here are very expensive. I'm surprised that they sell any of those in the UK, to be honest, because unlike in America with their safes where they don't have to have them, so if you're going to have one, you might spend a bit more. Here we have to have them, and it's really for most people. You just want to spend as little as possible, don't you, really? Alex from Blue Field Sports was showing me these Fusti, shotguns. And I must admit, I'm not a big fan of Italian guns normally, but they were very beautiful. Anyway, that was about it. There will be the talk coming up, so keep your eyes open for that. But the one thing I would say is I spent so long in there, I managed to get into the hospitality suite and managed to get some nibbles and things, that by the time I came to go, it was locked and I couldn't get out. So bear in mind, for next year, they do close at 6.